Okay, looks like we're rolling here. Um, just no Jay, just for the moment. He's it's taken forever for him to restart. Who knows? It's probably got a million Windows updates coming in the meantime. While he's trying to boot in an emergency. I don't know, like, but it's all good. It's all good. Um, so he'll be here in just a moment anyway, and so I'll just take a moment just to say hello to 462904 and Mascara. And I want to say hello to Regina Lamb. Hi, Regina Lamb. And I've seen Trisha's there. Hi, Trisha. How are you? And hope you're in good form. And hello, JJ. So here we are, Friday evening. And so basically, I have no idea what's on plan for tonight. Probably the same old. Just the Raconteurs after dark on this date, the 24th of the 2nd, 2023. So, how you doing, Robert? Uh, so I think what I'll do is this, right? Because and I wanted to put out a personal message to Steve because I think Steve just watches from time to time. And Steve, you posed a question last night in the middle of your stream, and I did put a response into the chat, but I wasn't able to respond in kind, like properly, because like it's impossible to convey what I wanted to share with you, basically. And your question, or no, it wasn't really a question. You asked why there wasn't a plugin, right? That was sort of like level the volumes. Remember, you were talking about the Twitter volume level, and you were always having to adjust it and say, why isn't there a plugin that can sort of like handle that? And there actually is, like, there is a way to do this stuff, right? Now, I'm purely on an open source system, but like what I have to share may well be relevant on your system as well too, or anybody that's working on a Windows system. And what I'll try to do is I'll do a screen share and I'll give you a look at how my audio is set up. So basically, um, what I use is I use CAF Jack Host. Now, CAF is a set of professional plugins basically that you can use and integrate into your audio setup. Like, so if you see here, I have a whole range of plugins. So I've got one, two, three. I've got 4 plugins here just for my microphone. Now, as you can see, I've got a de-esser. I've also got a compressor and an equalizer, 12-band equalizer, and I've got a reverb. Now, this is what you want here, Steve. I'm pretty sure I don't have to explain this to you because you probably have forgotten more about compressors than I will ever learn in what's left of my petty lifetime. But this is what you want. You're looking for compressors, something that will raise the low parts of the audio and probably lower the parts that are too high. So, and you might say, Steve, that like, Jimmy, look, you're on an open source system, right? And what's that got to do with me? Well, the reason why this works on my system, this is actually Calf Jack Host, right? And I'm pretty sure I've nearly put money on the fact that they have a Windows port. I would nearly be 100% certain. Yeah, I think my screen is sharing okay. Yeah, it is sharing okay. Now, the reason why this works basically is this. Um, there's a little program, a sound server that I use called Jack D, which is spelled Jack D, Jack D, and it's an audio server. And I'll just give you a quick look at it. This is Jack D. Because I know there's a lot going on the screen at the moment. It might be hard to see all this. Oh God, that's even worse. So I won't do that. And if you look at the connection graph on Jack D, you can see how everything is connected up. Like all of these things are virtually wired together. So I have a chain of plugins to handle the, say, the microphone, for example, which comes from the microphone port. It goes into the de-esser. It comes out with the de-esser, comes back around into an equalizer. It goes into a 12-band equalizer, comes out of the equalizer, goes into the reverb, and so on and so forth. And then it goes to pulse in, which the browser is listening to. So now, I know this is open source software, but I know for a fact that Jack Audio Connection Kit have a port of this software that is made specifically for Windows as well too. So even though it's originally open source software, and it actually works on Windows as well too. Now I can't vouch for how well it works. I can't vouch for how well it works on Windows, and you would have to test that out for yourself. But that's just a little response to last time, because obviously I couldn't explain this in the limited um, text box that like YouTube chats provide, and as well as that, like it's too busy. It's way too busy on the on when you're in midstream to be able to be taking in information like this. But what I will say basically is that if you do want to explore working out some software solution for that audio issue, I would like to make myself available to you. Um, Jason, I don't know if you have any contact with Steve Turgoose. I think you may have. I think you might have email contact with him. If Steve gets in touch with you, because I'm not going to put my personal email, out live on YouTube, and for obvious reasons, and it's nothing got to do with anybody in the chat. Like, but if Steve contacts you to ask for my email, you have my blessing to give it to him. Like, and because what I'm doing here is a question came up last night on Steve Turgoose's channel about why there isn't a plugin to solve an audio issue, right? And the problem was like sometimes the audio might be too low and sometimes the audio will be too high, and he was thinking that there should be a plugin to balance the audio out, and there is, right? But it's just a matter of how you implement it, like, and so he's very welcome to contact me in private, and I'll be glad to assist in any way I can. But by no means am I an expert in Windows software. I haven't used Windows for 22 years, so I've been Linux since nearly 2020 almost. So, but like I'm pretty sure that I do have some knowledge on how to work some of these systems that do actually port to Windows, and so don't be shy. Anyway, welcome, Jay. Well, I went ahead. I plowed ahead because I wasn't sure how long you were going to be. So glad you got to. I tell you what, that was a long boot.
It's still fucking going on, man. Can you hear me? Oh yeah. It's still at. I'm on. This is. I've got. In the end, I just got iPad out. So I just got iPad out, and that's what's plugged in. This is still on 26%. It's updating. Working on updates. 26%. Keep your computer on. I told you. I got to you about 5 minutes before, didn't I? And said I think it's gonna fucking. It's just dumped a fucking update on me.
I know, and do you know what? I hazarded a guess like that. I made a sort of like a prophetic call that was probably something got to do with Windows updates. So I'll tell you what, I wasn't too far wrong.
No, it were. So I'm on. I might sound a bit crap, and
yeah, you're actually quite low. I'll see if I can adjust your audio settings just a bit for the moment, and see if we can make it a little bit more lifelike. I've increased up to 140 now, so maybe that'll make a difference.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm quite far away.
That's better.
Is that better?
That's better.
Oh, okay, good.
That's
so
better.
We've been talking about I'll get straight on this as soon as it's fucking done. But it's fucking taking its time. But what we've been talking about first?
I went all techie and nerdy just for a minute because I wanted to convey a special message for Steve Turgoose, because obviously he watches the channel and he stays. And we got lovely commentary from Steve last night about the raccoons. And I'll tell you, I'll tell you what, it's very, very humbling. So thanks, Steve.
Oh, right. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, I didn't see that. You know what, as well, last night I was looking, because whenever I have to look, it never pops up. I have to always look, even Cookie's show, any show, I have to look for it. I have to know that it's on. So I didn't look last night. If I'd have looked, I wish I'd have fucking done a search, but I'll have a look back at that. But yeah, Steve will get in touch anyway, and we can forward you on. But we are working on Rumble. Can you believe that?
Amazing.
You're popular, aren't you, Jim? It's fortunate you won't have to be popular with me, innit?
Oh, honest to God, yeah. First the Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, brilliant. So we're fucking crazy world still. We're still in a crazy world. What we got so far this week? As a distraction, somebody has come forward claiming that they're Madeleine McCann, and they're doing the DNA and all that sort of thing. So that's there. There's the distraction for you. The next distraction is Madeleine McCann's going to turn up in the middle of all this shit.
My God.
And probably end up in a lesbian relationship with fucking Greta Thunberg.
Greta Van Doomsburg.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you. That's crazy. I didn't hear a thing about that. Where does that story break from?
Well, my missus saw it on Facebook and said that there's been they are talking about trying to get a DNA test done. But I did ask her, but she didn't have that information. I did ask her crucially, because she's got a weird eye thing, hasn't she, Madeleine McCann? Apparently, she's got like this. Yeah, it's where where her pupil is. There's a part of the pupil that sort of bleeds into the coloured part of your eye. That she's got that. So that was something that were like a unique point about her. They were
right.
We're actually oh, here we go. Oh, 62% now. Started something happened there. You just went for it.
Yeah. It's working out. I increased your mic level just another little bit, and we'll get it right yet until let Microsoft do its bullshit. I actually updated my computer earlier on, but Linux updates seem to be fairly seamless. They don't take very long, and I've also learned it's not nice to get caught with a load of updates. At least on Linux, we get a choice whether to update now or later. But obviously, it was just thrown at you,
just as I got, oh, hang on, it's gone blank. Is something happening? It did say it might start and stop every fucking 2 minutes, but we'll be back. We'll be back soon on full fucking blown up shit, man. Full blown up shit. So today it's did you? Oh, you won't have. You weren't even invited to it, but did you join in with the minute's silence because it's 1 year since Russia invaded Ukraine? Apparently.
No.
Minute silence today, mate. We do them all the time. Pots and pans for that sort of shit. I don't know if anybody fucking did it. I know I didn't. In fact, I think I was happily farting at fucking 11 o'clock.
I didn't even know about it. I did. I done my usual Ukraine sort of perusal to see what's going on. But then again, I do keep up with it on a daily basis. I know I have my channel sourced. All I want to know is what's the movement on the battlefield and what is there anything actually new happening rather than the bullshit that the assholes say from the Duran or the Brian Berletics or the Gonzalo Lears, all those bullshit artists who are making a fortune out of 24/7 coverage of the war. I have to be honest, man. I am not seeing any progress on the front line. it looks like Russia is almost at a standstill. I'm starting to question who the fuck is really winning this goddamn war, because as far as I can see, Russia are making no goddamn progress, despite what all the Durans are saying, this, that, and the other. And I don't know what's happening. And it looks like China is about to enter the war. It looks like they're entering into the war front in Ukraine. Did you hear about that?
No. So which side are they going to be on? With the Russians? Are they going to?
Yeah. They're going to be providing drones. They're going to be providing drones. So
I've got a couple of them. Do you want to borrow mine? Do you think they'll borrow mine? Yeah, I've got one down here. I haven't fucking flown it.
Give us a look. Give us a look.
It's a Holy Stone drone. I bought it months ago.
Thine holy drone grenade.
Holy Stone drone. And there it is. It's got its packing case, and there the drone is. Oh shit! There the drone is. You see that? The drone.
Yeah, really nice and clean looking. Has it even been used?
It's been used once, but because it was quite expensive, and I didn't really want to fucking crash fuck out of it. Even though it's got loads of different things on it. It's got loads of GPS and all that sort of shit, and it will come back. It'll follow you about. If I set it to follow me about, it'll just follow me, no matter what I do. If I in my car, if I go in my car and I drive off, it'll follow me. So it's a pretty good. It cost me quite a lot of money, which means that I were a bit scared. So I ended up buying a fucking mini drone so that I could fucking practice on. It's a little mini one that only costs about 30 quid, something like that. But it's good to crack. Fucking dog hates it, man. If dog could eat it.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Is the Watson is nearly out of a job because he's now Master has now got a drone to follow him around, apart from instead of a dog.
Right, I think I'm in. I think I might be on in a minute.
Oh wow, interesting.
This will be fucking interesting.
Yeah.
Let's say hello to some people in the chat room. Mascara Snake and Paula and Chris, Rick Haywood, JJ's in there as well. Good evening, JJ. Timothy McPherson. That's Uni. Good evening, Uni. I think we might get Uni on for the last 15 minutes.
Oh, hi, Uni. Hi, Uni.
Yeah. if that's all right with you, you fucking got this going. Fucking turning round and round and round. Yeah.
I'll give it a minute. This is working anyway for now, Jay. And I know it's not ideal, but look, we'll get there. We'll get there.
There we go. Right. Oh, it's got all sorts of different shit on it.
Yeah, you got some beautiful new spyware installed now. Compliments of Unit 8200 from Israel, so you should be overjoyed.
Oh yeah, I am absolutely overjoyed. I love to know what my Israeli friends are doing. I've got fucking tons of them. We go hunting together. Dear fucking God! Right, let's see if I can get this going. Fuck off! I don't need that for this. You're sounding and looking good on the iPad, Jason. There you go. Thank you.
It's pretty good. I have to say, it's pretty good for an iPad. I'm impressed as well. Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's not even a new iPad. It's my wife's old iPad. She had a new iPad just before Christmas, and this is quite old. So I just took this. I had this, and it's all right. It's not bad, are they? They're not bad. These Apple make good products. They do make good products.
I know, but Apple are interesting because they've got the same filing system as me. Like, I'm on an open source system. Their filing system is basically the same as the old Unix systems. They've got exactly the same. Works basically the same way. It's interesting, but it's all locked down and proprietary, and a lot of the software is you have to pay for, and they seem to have way too much control over their actual systems. So it looks like to me, it seems like they've taken a lot of the control from the average person away, and they control a lot of the backbones and the inner workings of. But that's just my opinion. That may not be true. Maybe in reality it's not that restrictive. So, but I don't know. I've never used an Apple system. Never had one.
I'm just logging into my email so I can get back on StreamYard, because obviously everything's fucked up now. Apple Mac fan. I'm not a fucking fanboy. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fuck me. You get called all sorts of shit, don't you? You know what I mean? I'm fucking. What do you think I fucking am? Some sort of fucking tech genius? I'm fucking. I'm not. Oh, for fuck's sake!
So, did we say hello to while you're booting in there? I'll continue saying hello to people. I've said hello to Trisha. Get a Blue Sky in there. How you, Blue Sky? Say hello to Kendo. Anybody else? Paula. Good evening, Paula. Thanks for that beautiful email. I got such a laugh out of that, and my apologies for my rant about pagans. You know. I don't want to burn every one of them, like obviously, like but like people should understand, like don't take it personally if you're a pagan in the chat. When I say the only mistake the Christians made was not burning all the pagans, it's just a rant at Thomas Sheridan, you know, and that's all it is. Because I actually kind of like, there's some pagans that I really, really like. I don't know enough of them, like, but it's not a religious thing that I have against I don't have anything against anybody religious, like, and especially pagans. But Thomas Sheridan, I'll make an exception for. So when I say burn the pagans, what I mean is burn Sheridan. Anyway, he's a fucking idiot.
Right, I'm going to go up and I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, no worries, Jay. No worries.
Keep
Jay.
them entertained.
I'll try. I'm going to go through and finish saying hello to everybody, and I'll say hello to Rick Hayward. Hi, Rick. Chris, hi, Rick. How you doing, Chris, mate? We've got JJ, Rich T. Good evening, Rich T. And Timothy McPherson, that's Uni, of course. Hi, Timothy. Mick Ramo, good evening. And we'll keep going, BB Rebosa, good evening. And I'm still scrolling. God, the chat is busy, so it looks like I'm maybe at the bottom. So, right, I think I've caught up. Sorry if I've missed any questions or anything that was directed at me, like, but sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes I do have difficulty with the chat, so keeping up with it sometimes does be tricky when you're trying to talk shite. So I had an interesting encounter today. Show the cats. Well, there's only one cat here, and the sociable fella that's all fretty and fearful of me, he's outside. He probably went for a crap or a piss, I don't know, or maybe gone out to hunt for a woman, who knows. And the female is here, and she's very ignorant. She's very, very ignorant. She doesn't want to know me unless it's feeding time. She doesn't want to know me, and you know the way I do jump up around, I'd be very brute. You fucking cunts, this, that, the other, like, and she doesn't give a fuck. She couldn't care less. You know, when I start stomping around like that, like pretending to be a nutcase, she looks up at me. She says, "Bring it on. Just you fucking try." So, but she's been with me since she was a baby. She knows exactly what I'm fucking like, and she doesn't fall for any of that bullshit. The other fella, he's too easy, like, because he's still like half wild. You know, I picked him up as a stray as well too. He's still half wild. He hasn't got used to the way I go on here, but give him time. You know, give him time. I'm patient. Good man, Jay. Are you all set up now?
I think so. Yeah. How am I sounding? Am I sounding okay?
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty good. I mean, it's not good enough, is it? I need to sound better than some of the sounds very good. But anyway, pretty good will do. I'm all right with pretty good.
It's coming in fairly strong signal, and nothing wrong with it. No, it's pretty good. And if you listen to the beginning of the show before you joined, there might be some tips if you want to improve your sound. If you're thinking about stuff like that, it's really interesting. There's a lot of technology out there which is good for, but like a lot of it is way above my pay grade. Like for example, like compressors and de-essers. Like for example, like I mean, did you ever encounter a de-esser?
No, what's a de-esser?
A de-esser is a thing which is designed, it's a plug-in or a piece of hardware that's designed to counteract sibilance.
Counteract what?
Sibilance.
Sibilance.
Yeah.
That's no one on me.
Well, sibilance, do you ever listen to somebody and they've got this, when they try to pronounce their S's, the S's are or the T's come in really harsh, or the P's come in really, really harsh and very harsh, and that's all you can hear is like a reptile, like one of the royals. A de-esser is actually designed to reduce the impact of those harsh sounds, so it takes the harshness out of the extreme S's. It's actually what it is. It's more, males are more prone to it than females. So that's what a de-esser does. So there's lots of little things you can do to improve audio quality, like with just a couple of plugins. Like I'm just getting used to it myself. Like it's a whole field of research. Like you could go into it and still never learn it all, you know. So I'm kind of like fumbling around with it myself, trying to just get a good sound, man, you know.
Oh yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It sounds really good, actually, yours. So I'll compliment you on yours. Sounds really good. Yeah. I don't do anything with mine because I'm fucking tech dead. I get like, you know, come on, and I think I can just open my computer up, go on and fucking do my show. And I've thought that for 6 years, even though I know for a fact that sometimes it fucking does the things that it did earlier, which is piss you off. It just wants to piss you off, I think. I think it's Bill Gates. I think he couldn't get out in my arm, so he decided to get somewhere in my fucking computer instead.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that's a scurrilous statement, that. I'll tell you what. I'm going to hex
this fella. Oh, you do sound like him, though. You do sound like him.
I'm going to hex this fella.
I'll tell you what he does. What Richie Allen does is he does this thing. I remember him one time talking about waxing opine. You know, opine. I want to wax opine. Fuck me.
It's like that's like Mercurius under Duran. He comes on like with his King's English, like, and everything. He's a fucking Greek, man. He sounds like he was brought up in the royal family. Like, and I'll tell you what, he wants a good slap in the mouth, that fella. But anyway, and same goes for Richie Allen. Like, but anyway, and I could add a load of it. I don't listen to him. I don't bother with him.
I don't either. So I used to years ago, but I haven't listened to him for a long time since. All I used to do is I listened to him when I were at work. So I was driving about. I was driving when I was driver. Obviously, I can't fucking drive now. Well, I can drive, but I can't drive for a living. But anyway, I used to listen to him on podcasts. But then again, I used to listen to Alex Jones. I used to listen to UK Column. There's all places
David Icke. We've all done it.
There's all places that you listen to and you grow out of. Iconic, fucking David Icke. I don't know about David Icke, but I don't know about his character, but certainly that fucking them kids of his, fucking Gareth.
Oh yeah, he's on the scene now, isn't he?
Fucking nepotism or what? Jesus Christ. Fucking failed at everything that he's ever done and then decides that he's going to do what his dad did, which is turn in, tune in and drop out. And, you know, he's got the thing about him and he's got his fucking beard, hasn't he? Because he's like, you know, he's a...
I've got a beard too.
No, but your beard's like... Your beard's like Tony Farrell beard, isn't it? Rather than a fucking... it's not a... He's got one of them, like, you know, one of them beards that you see on fucking young lads these days. That they have these fucking beards. And you know what? I don't even get it. Me, fucking beards itch like fuck. I can't stand it. It's probably why I got no hair, because I kept fucking.
I know. I always shave when the itching starts, you know, but I'm a lazy bastard, so I always wait till the itching starts. And when the itching starts, fuck it, that's enough of this shit, man. Get me the shaver.
Well, I'm always I always shave before a show, so we've had Gareth on before. Uni. It's no good. It's no good. You know what you're gonna get, right? This constant interview, fucking Tony Robinson. Now, in and of itself, there's no wrong with that. But as far as I can tell, he didn't really give Tommy Robinson a very hard time, which he's not going to, is he? But I'd prefer him to give him an hard time. In fact, I don't even care. I don't even fucking care. I don't even care. Honestly, it's fucking. It's just ridiculous. The facts. These last few days has just been fucking mental. Absolutely mental. Absolutely. I could wait till we're off air, and I'll tell you a story. And I'll tell you a story, and you will not believe me, but I'll show you, and you'll be able to see. But what this week's been like. But yeah, Gareth, we had him on. He's all right, I suppose. I don't know what his real thoughts and his real intentions are, or what he wants to do, or what. All I can see is that they're moving people that are alternative, the people that would describe themselves as not viewing the mainstream media and viewing alternative media to get the news information from, which is a fucking idiot move, by the way. You know, they see this shit. They see it. There's plenty of new fish about. And I think they're trying to move. I think they're trying to move the alternative towards the right, so that it then can be demonized at any point. I mean, fucking right wing, no matter what you do. If you have a shit and say, actually, that, you know when you have a shit and I'm sorry, I keep fucking. This is Spanish chicken's fault. This, but you know when you have a shit and it turns out to be a piss instead out of your arse. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Is David Icke a Mason? I have no idea whether he's a Mason or not.
I tell you what, there's nothing worse than when you think you're going to fucking fart, it turns out to be a shit.
Especially when you're in a fucking wheelchair and you've got a lift between you and the bog, and you've got to sit down all fucking way. Yes, there is nothing worse. You're right. I've done it many, many times over the last few years because I've had the.
That tends to happen after a feed of Guinness over here in Ireland. After a feed of Guinness, that's a danger period. Like, it's just when you're drinking Guinness, if you're on your holidays to Ireland, just never trust a shit or never trust a fart in the mornings.
Oh no, Guinness, fucking hell, that'll make me shit, won't it? I drank that for a very short while, a very short period. I went through my Guinness period. I think everybody goes through it at some point. I don't know whether they want to look different or whether, because nobody likes the taste of Guinness. Surely not. Nobody actually likes the taste of Guinness. Nobody likes the taste of lager.
There's no good Guinness. There's no good Guinness in England, OJ. Right?
I'll believe you. Yeah.
Guinness doesn't export. Yeah, no, Guinness doesn't export well at all to anywhere. It's the only good Guinness is here in Ireland, and it has to be treated very, very carefully. I worked in many, many pubs in England, and I was even a cellar man at one point, and before I was a head barman and stuff like that. And there's no way that you can actually fix Guinness in England. It's absolutely awful. So if you've drank Guinness in England thinking that you were going to get the true experience, my condolences. It's not going to happen, man. You have to drink Guinness here in Ireland for some strange reason.
but they don't like immigrants. So if you're English, don't bother going over there because they fucking hate. They hate.
Fucking hell, man! Ireland is full of Brits. It's full of Brits, man.
It's a fucking Britain's full of fucking Irish. Jesus.
I know. But we're the one people. We're the one fucking.
I'm not talking about Brits. I'm just talking about the current situation that's going on over there. You've got quite a lot of immigration going on, and you're pretty much the same as we have over here. People seeking asylum and things like that. That's what we're talking about. I know British and Irish are fucking brothers and sisters, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
Only divided by a little bit of water and some fucking.
We fight like brothers and sisters as well, too, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, you're fucking right.
Yeah. And I think essentially we do get along, because I think essentially we do, even though we mightn't there might be friction like between us, like at a lot of times, but I think essentially we're the one, we do get along.
Oh yeah, of course we get along. Yeah, we do get along famously. I can't believe this is fucking logged me out of everything and making me log back into shit. It's fucking ridiculous. Here's a story for it. Here's one I've got for you. Here's a story that has been doing the rounds over the last week or so. It's all about, of course, it's all about Nazis and book burning and all that sort of thing. It is essentially what it is book burning. But the Roald Dahl thing, they were going to, change the text in Roald Dahl, and from calling people, big, fat and ugly, because he does that in the book. There's, he's just big, ugly fucking monster, BFG, and all that sort of shit. And they wanted to calm, language down so that it panders to pussies. And it's ridiculous. It's book burning. But I did see this and I thought to myself, how fucking ridiculous is this? Oh, is it fucking wrong thing? Let me share my screen. It's this one here. It's from the BBC, of course. And there it is. It's Roald Dahl's family sorry for author's anti-Semitic remarks. Roald Dahl's family has apologized for anti-Semitic comments made by the best-selling author who died in 1990. 1990 he died. We're talking 33 years ago. So, there you go. That's probably why he's turning up now, 33 years later. I hope I'm fucking right on that. Yeah, I think I am. A statement condemning Dahl's controversial comments made in two interviews in 1983 and 1990 was published on his official website. In a discreet part of the website, his family and the Roald Dahl Story Company deeply apologized for the lasting and understandable hurt caused. So what's happened is they wanted to start editing Roald Dahl books to take some of the nasty words out. The words that are not safe. I want safe words. Please have safe words. Let's have a safe word. If I want to let's have a safe word, please. I need one to put safe words in. And then they've gone digging about on the website, found this obscure apology that's been in a discreet part of the website. That the family's obviously done on their own, and now they're making a big fucking deal out of it that, even they think is anti-Semitic and all that sort of shit. And it's absolute fucking nonsense. And it's just the way we're going at the moment. What do you reckon? What do you think to that one?
That kind of, I'll tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me of an attempt to put everybody in the Western world under the same spell that the German people are being held under right now. Like the people obviously in Germany who have never been at war with anybody in our lifetimes, and they're still being demonized for what their grandparents were alleged to have done. And this is something like a similar type of psych warfare operation. It kind of leads in, because I have to say that story kind of leads perfectly into another story that I was actually coming across as well too during the week. And there seems to be some sort of a push to I don't know what exactly is going on here, like, but this was a story also from the Daily Mail, which some Britain's most popular sitcoms and greatest works of literature were flagged as potential signs of far-right extremism by a counter-terror program. Now, the flagship Prevent scheme, recently the subject of a scathing audit, singled out comedies, Yes Minister, and The Thick of It, the 1955 epic war film The Dam Busters, and even the complete works of William Shakespeare as possible red flags of extremism. It said the works of fiction were key texts for white nationalists slash supremacists. A report by Prevent's Research, Information and Communications Unit, the RICU, described how far-right extremists promoting reading lists online bulletin boards, and it reproduced an image being shared on the far-right corners of the internet that listed important texts under pictures of Nigel Farage and Oswald Mosley, who led the British Union of Fascists in the 1930s. I don't know. The taxpayer-funded document includes references to Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, Huxley's Brave New World, Joseph Conrad's The Secret Agent, 1984 by George Orwell, and the poems of G.K. Chesterton. It also references films including The Bridge on the River Kwai, The Great Escape, and Zulu. Works by some of the greatest world writers were included as examples of warning signs of potential extremism, including Shakespeare, Milton, Tennyson, Kipling, and Edmund Burke. The report even highlighted the BBC's 1990 political thriller House of Cards, John le Carre's seminal spy trilogy, Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy, which is an excellent film, and Sharp, the ITV drama set in Napoleonic Wars. Inexplicably, it said the BBC's Great British Railway Journeys, presented by former Conservative Minister Michael Portillo, was of interest to the far right. Historian and broadcaster Andrew Roberts said, "This is truly extraordinary. This is the reading list of anyone who wants a civilized, liberal, cultured education. It includes some of the greatest works in the Western canon and goes in some cases, such as Joseph Conrad's The Secret Agent, powerful critiques of terrorism, Burke, Huxley, Orwell, Tolkien, and we'll go. I've done it. Author Douglas Murray obtained a full list and discovered that one of the books had been given as a red flag by Prevent. Mr. Murray wrote, in The Spectator magazine, a number of books are singled out, the possession of reading of which could point to severe wrong-think and therefore potential radicalization. It seems that RICU is so far off track that it believes that books identifying the problem that it was itself set up to tackle are in fact part of the problem. He concluded that RICU work was pathetic and called for accountability for its errors and sackings by the score. The list has emerged following a major review into Prevent's scheme by William Shawcross. But anyway, look, I've read enough there. That kind of that does kind of like parallel along with that Roald Dahl story, Jay, and it's a much bigger agenda going on here against literature. I mean, this goes beyond toppling statues and erasing history. It's like, let's get rid of all the books as well too. We're back to the book burning times.
Yeah. Now again, some of that they did at Nazis, and they've been doing in Ukraine as well. They've been burning Russian books this week, I've seen. Or there's been an article, because there's a bloke on Twitter, Stu Peters. I think he's a comedian, but he's insisting. He's insisting that Ukraine war is completely fake. The whole lot of it, he says.
Did you know Stu Peters used to be on the Alex Jones network? Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. No.
Yeah, he used to be on the network there. He's a sensationalist, and I wouldn't trust him as far as I'd throw him. Even though some of his content is quite interesting, he's put out some good work, and he's got some interesting people, like the likes of Jane Ruby. She's on the Stu Peters show as well too, and who else? There's lots of strange movements in the alt media. Like, did you ever hear that Maria Z, the Australian girl? She was putting out some good work there as well too. But now she's with the Alex Jones show. So I don't know what's going on with the alt media, but it just seems a little bit strange, to be honest. And
yeah, we've got iconic in bed with Tommy Robinson or Yaxley Lennon or whatever you want to fucking call him. I know Richie Allen's, because they're talking about Richie Allen in the chat room. I know Richie Allen's really condemned that. I think he's condemned it quite badly. He don't like Yaxley Lennon. He's probably, I don't know. They probably took each other's jobs or something. Fucking daft. So when did you last listen to him? Yeah, I haven't listened to him. I haven't listened to him for a long time. I should probably listen to him, but I'm not going to. Just simply because I'm not really. I know what he's going to say, and that's the problem. That is the problem, is that you know that what people are going to say. There's nothing new anymore, and the people are playing to the crowd, they're playing to the audience, they're playing to the gallery, if you want, and just providing the stuff that they think that the gallery wants. There you go, Jimmy's gone off. He's going to go and feed his cats or do whatever he is. He's back and he's going again. And he's back. Yeah, but
cheers.
I don't know who Alan is, to be honest. It's Richie Allen. He's an Irish presenter, and from what I can remember, he used to he always mentioned that his background were in mainstream media. That was the thing that he always mentioned. If anybody doesn't know, my background is mainstream media. I'm waxing old pie with my friend Jimmy there. Terrible fucking accent, huh?
That's not bad, actually. I was reporting on leprechauns 10 years before you were born. I found a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and there was no leprechauns there. There you go. That's the scoop.
There you go, man. McGuinness from Ireland.
I can tell you. Oh, good man, good man. I can tell you the last Richie Allen interview that I listened to. I couldn't tell you when it was, but he had Kate Shamarani on, right? That was, and he tore into her and I swear to God, it was like if he had got to her physically, I swear he would have been butt fucking her, right? But he tore into her, and you know what? That's not the actions of an honest journalist. That's like somebody who's trying to inject their own opinion and feelings of person. Like, if you're going to be a journalist, let's be impartial. Let's just ask the tough questions, but there's no need to attack, there's no, and that's what he done to her. And I'm not a big I don't know anything about Kate Shamarani. I don't know. She could be a fucking plant for all I know. But like, if you're going to be a journalist, ask the questions, don't get emotional, right? And he kind of, as far as I'm concerned, he broke all the rules. And did you hear that interview, Jay?
I didn't. No, I stopped listening by then. I stopped listening quite a few years ago. So I'd stopped listening by then. Sorry, I keep picking this fucking kill up. It's not done and I have to fucking do it. I haven't listened to him for quite a long time, and I can't even remember why I stopped listening to him. But I stopped listening to him for a specific reason. But it were before I were doing this show. So, although I did used to take piss out of him, and quite bad, doing bad impressions of him. If you listen to some really old shows, you'll hear me doing really bad impressions of Richie Allen, and being encouraged as well by a lot of Irish people to do it. So, but no, it's, what can you do? What can you do? You just don't know. This Kate Sharamani, I don't trust her for a start. I don't trust her as far as I could fucking throw her. But then again, I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody. Anybody can be I don't trust anybody, and I don't distrust anybody. Well, there are certain people I distrust, but you know what I mean. I try to be objective every time with everybody. You know, I try to not say you're a fucking prick, or you know, getting. If you're going to have someone on your show, you've got to listen to them. I can't remember why I fucking didn't listen to him anymore. Proper Motormouth. Even the kids were disowning her and all sorts of stuff, weren't they? So I don't know. When did you first see him? People's Voice TV. I don't know if it were. I do remember People's Voice though, because I remember at the time, and I just woke Adi up. Not long since, so it must have been about 2013 or 14, or 15 even. Maybe I can't fucking remember. But I just woke Adi up, and Adi one day disclosed to me that they were sending money to fucking the People's Voice. I says, what the fucking hell are you doing? It's well, you know, they try, you know, it's a new thing. I throw them a tenner a month, and I says, Adi, I says, look, mate, honestly, if you want to give somebody money, that's not a problem. But don't give them money for telling you the truth. I mean, you might as well be giving a beggar fucking money. You know, it's gonna go for it. At least it's gonna get some drugs. Yeah. So I don't fucking know. I don't know. People, if AD were drawn in, then anybody's going to be drawn in. And the People's Voice took about 300,000 quid and didn't even do anything, nothing. Provided really nothing. Edge Media were better than that. I don't know if you remember Edge Media. That were around.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, until about 2012, 13, 14. Somewhere around that time.
Weren't too bad, actually, you know.
Edge Media was okay, yeah. They had some good shows. I remember Alex G, rest his soul. Do you remember him? Alex G, he called himself Alex G. He was a bit stiff and a bit of a... But he presented this show called Behind the Sofa or something like that, and it were, you know, you're riding behind the sofa from all this crap. Yeah, I distanced himself from that project, but who had the £300,000 they collected? Exactly, John Smith. Exactly. Where did the 300 grand go? And whenever you ask anybody, and when we interviewed Gareth Ike, because it was Webby that got Gareth Ike on, because I didn't really want to speak to him. But Webby got Gareth Ike on, and one of the things we weren't allowed to talk that he said were a no-no, that it'd just disappear if we started talking about it with People's Voice. So I don't know what to make of that, but there you go. We weren't allowed to talk about it with him. I didn't really fucking want him on anyway, and he came on for a bit, but yeah, it weren't. They're not exactly the sort of people that. They're not. I don't know. I just can't fucking trust them. I just don't know what it is. I just don't know what it is. But I've got this radar thing in me, whereas I can just tell. You know, you just know when you don't want to be around somebody, or you don't want to watch somebody, and for me, it can be anything. It can be if I were watching myself, I'd probably wind myself right up, you know, because my presenting style is fucking terrible, and even got one. But when I'm listening to something, I like to be able to believe, not believe, but yeah, believe that they're saying what they believe. You know what I mean? I need them to show me that.
Convince you.
I mean. But yeah. Anyway, Gareth Ike.
Yeah, I'm like yourself, Jay. I don't trust any fucking cunt anymore, and it's like this is part of the disinformation war that we're kind of stuck in at the moment. This 5th generation warfare, and nothing.
We've even lost that though. We've even lost that. There's AI. I saw this today. AI I saw this post on Twitter that somebody had took from what's the website that's basically a big forum? Is it Reddit?
Reddit.
Anyway, yeah, they've been on this. It's been on Reddit, and they said they were working on a project which at Meta, they were from Meta, so they were a Meta whistleblower, and they were working on a project that what it did is when people died, AI took over their social media accounts. Okay.
No way.
So when you die, and the idea was, this is what it was told the idea was for anybody that's lost somebody recently. So the AI would be able to communicate with them as if in the same style as the person that was dead. I'm not going to say deceased or passed away or fucking shit like that, because dead's dead, innit? It's dead, that's it. You only need one word for fucking dead. You don't need to, he's just dead. So what he'd done is he'd said that he'd seen the implications of what had happened is it had become more secretive, and he'd seen the implications, and it had become a little bit creepy. The fact that AI could, basically do an impersonation of somebody on social media, and to all intents and purposes, that person, if that is still alive, if someone doesn't know they're dead, then that person's still alive and posting and stuff like that. So the AI is like the spanner in the works of the information, superhighway. There's someone on Twitter that I'm trying to help, who's reached out to me for a bit of help, and I keep trying to say, look, you're arguing on Twitter, and you're doing all this stuff, and these fucking programs, these people aren't even people. You're arguing and you're getting het up about something that's been written by artificial intelligence. I don't care. I don't care what your response is. And so I've been trying to help this person for a while, and they just can't seem to get into that they seem to take everything personally and not trying to see for just see for themselves about they don't have to deal with they don't have to answer every single criticism they get. I very rarely fucking post on Twitter. I just look at it. It's a fucking shit show. But it's an interesting shit show to watch, because there's certainly new things coming out of there that used to be on. In fact, I don't know if Twitter has just been this place where Elon Musk has took it over and he's going to allow it to be a free for all, and then the rest we're all confided in there, and then everyone else can get on with their fucking life with the pretending friends and what have you on Facebook and all that crap information and social media in general.
Musk is a grifter, to be honest. He's a bloody grifter.
Of course he is. Of course he's a grifter. Fuck me, Jesus Christ! Yeah. You don't get that rich without being a grifter.
There's a lot of profit to be made in Twitter, and you can see that, where you got to pay for your blue tick mark so that you look like you're kind of legit. I see even I think Facebook are even going down this road now. They're going to be, you can buy an authorized check mark for X amount, so. And then there's also the advertising, and Musk is about as corrupt as you can get. He should be in jail, that fellow, for a lot of the crimes that he's committed over the years, financial crimes. He should have been investigated by the SEC for security exchange violations and stuff like that. And he's robbed people's money. If this information is out there, go look it up. This guy is a criminal 100%, and now he's the hero because he's taken over Twitter, and it seems like he's allowing free speech. Musk doesn't give a fuck, man. He really doesn't give a fuck.
Of course he doesn't. Of course he doesn't. He never. Of course he's not going to give a fuck. It's a bit like I don't give a fuck about the fucking worms in garden outside here. I don't give a fuck. I like that there's worms here. I'm sure birds do because it brings more birds onto the garden and stuff like that. But I don't give a fuck really. If someone would say to me that there's worm flu or something,
you would be going around putting masks on all the worms.
Oh, fucking hell, man. I could see it as well. Putting masks on your worm. Anybody who wants a mask on the worm. It used to be called a rubber Johnny or a prophylactic.
What was that Two Ronnies fun? Do you remember the Two Ronnies used to do the worm that turns? They were good, man, I have to say.
Yeah, the worm that turned were about women. That were a sketch over a multi shows, but it was a sketch about women taking over the country, weren't it? Because they changed the name from the Union Jack to the Union Jill. I remember that, and it was in shape of a pair of knickers or a bra or something like that when it was flying, and it were like women have took over, and perhaps we should revisit it and see what the future's going to be like, because women are going to take over. Let them do it.
What I do find interesting was with all this talk about war, and it's like you got war in Ukraine, war with China, all this fucking bullshit. Isn't it interesting that so many females are at the head of all these organizations and political structures, and they're the ones pushing for this? Like, you got your von der Leyens, you got your Victoria Nulands, to name just two, but there's so many of them, and all they want is war. And I would have thought, surely the women would have had a little bit of sense here, and taken the nurturing stance, and taken the more sensible, logical approach, rather than the male testosterone driven sort of let's fight our way out of this bullshit. I would have imagine that the females would have had a more balanced approach to it, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Unless, of course, they're not really women, and maybe they've been converted from males to female. I don't know what's going on there, but it's very, very odd. I have to say, I'm very, very disappointed in the female world leaders. I would have expected a more woman-like approach to things, because I think that's really missing in the world. This, and they're trying to cancel the whole female aspect completely. And we definitely need we need this balance. We need this male-feminine balance. We're not getting it. I'm just so shocked that so many women in power are just
cunts.
Bent on
Thatcher, Theresa May. Look, that two people. There you go.
Yeah, Truss.
Well, if she'd have had fucking time, she didn't even have time to have her fucking nails painted, did she? Jesus Christ, or sharpened or whatever.
No, she didn't last too long.
Yeah.
I see Boris is going. I see Boris is putting in his application for head of the of NATO.
It's what? Sorry, say that again.
Boris Johnson, he's put in his application to be head of NATO.
Oh yeah, good idea. Yeah, good idea. It's almost as good. Well, let's just fucking do it, man. Let's put fucking Boris Johnson as head of NATO in, and then we'll put fucking Joe Pasquale as fucking Secretary of Defence in charge of wars and that. Oh, see, at least it'll be fun, won't it? Be entertaining. We have to laugh.
Myra Hindley for Prime Minister.
Myra Hindley, Prime Minister, yes. We could have that, yeah. Rose West as Chancellor of the Exchequer or Minister for Children. Anything like that.
Hitler for Minister of Health and Education.
Which Hitler, though? Oh, dear me. Fucking hell. Oh, dear. Jesus Christ. Oh. Anyway, listen, I just need a very, 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 very fucking. Oh, there we go. I want to show you this. I want to show everybody this. I don't know if you're not on Raconteurs News Telegram channel, you won't have seen it.
Not gonna fit. Gonna fit.
There you go. I went through all the trouble of fucking changing that from an Apple thing so that I could get it on here, and now I've played it anyway. You won't see that again.
That's impressive, man. I was so impressed to see you out in the water, like open air at this time of the year, like, or that time of the year, because obviously it's a little bit past now, but it was just, I'm envious. I would have loved to have been able to do that.
Yeah, it were nice. It were nice for a week, and we'll get away again a couple of times this year. Hopefully, I've got caravan opens up in 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Actually, my current boss. My current boss. It was in Tenerife, like the time you were there, right? And I was telling them the other day, because I only get to see him maybe once a month or so. He comes to check in on us to see how things are going, and I was telling him, like, I have a friend like I do be on the radio with, like, oh, he's from Sheffield. And he turned around and says, oh, I'm originally from Sheffield. Like, he's an army guy, like an Irish army guy. But he's originally from Sheffield, but he was out there at the time you were there. So very interesting.
A bit far away. I was in Lanzarote, so,
Oh, is that Lanzarote you were in?
Lanzarote, it's still Canary Islands, and it's not that far, but, yeah.
Okay, right.
Each other.
Okay, yeah.
Unjabbed and abroad, yes. Thank you very much, Rich T. Exactly, both of us were. The leggy flop says, not Dr. Robert. It's not a leggy flop, is it? Hey, there's only one leg. All those things, just like this fucking waist hanging that's hanging from my thing. It's just for me fake leg on, but yeah, cheers.
Well, I have to say, your swimming was quite elegant. I have to say, like, the swimming's not too bad. Like, for somebody with just one rear fin, like, it was pretty good.
Well, it was a saltwater pool, so they were pretty good buoyancy in there. But I'm a strong swimmer anyway. I always have been. And like me and Adi used to go swimming a couple of times a week. But I've always been a strong swimmer, and I've not really had any problems at all. They only his problem is getting in and out. But anyway, there you go. Glorious sunshine and a bit of a suntan and some just a few nice rays and that, and it was nice to get away. But I just wanted to show that anybody who's not been on the Telegram would not have seen that. So there you go. There you go, Jimmy. How's about this one? Nicola Bully doesn't exist or never existed. There's one for you. That is what somebody. This is not me saying this. Not me, by the way. This is somebody else saying that Nicola Bully never existed. Everything that she did was all the photos are all photoshopped. And she never existed. Nobody ever talked. Somebody said that they went around the town and tried to talk to people, and nobody would talk. Nobody at all. I don't know if all fucking town's been paid off or not. Again, it's I don't know what to make of that either. It's all fucking weirdo stuff these days. That's all we get is weirdo stuff.
Where did the story come from?
Downstairs on fucking getting off at plane in fucking Poland or whatever, in Kiev.
Well, actually, do you know what? I'm so glad I didn't play that image last week, because it turns out that may not have been Biden falling down the stairs.
No, I know it might not have been, but I did see one where he fell up when he was trying to get back on.
He did fall up, yeah. He fell up for sure. Oh, the poor potato.
Fucking stairs are my fucking absolute nemesis, so I fucking no good with them. So yeah, at least he's better than me at them.
Where's this bully story coming from, by the way?
It came off from somebody on Iconic, actually. Iconic, a woman called something. There's a woman. Someone tell me in chat room. There's a woman. Someone on Iconic has said this, that there were all this. This Nicola Bully didn't exist, and it was all made up. It's a psyop, and it's all designed to stop people from doing their own investigations, because apparently there were complaints about TikTokers and people going around with cameras and doing investigations and making their own things and what have you. So that's what they are saying. The
you could almost relate this back to.
Woman. I can't remember her fucking name. Somebody tell me. Is it Devoy or D something or other? Can't fucking remember. Jackie Devoy? Is it Devoy or something like that? Oh, I don't know. Fuck knows. But it's someone off that anyway. Off Ike's. One of Ike's minions who said it. But again, it's all just history repeating itself. If you look back, we've had on this show, we had Chris Spivey on a couple of times, who famously said that Lee Rigby never existed.
I remember him. Yeah, I remember him.
He's been on the show a couple of times talking about that and how people don't exist. There are people. I mean, he went from just Lee Rigby, and then it went to everybody, even including Princess Diana. Even Princess Diana was sort of like, this is an actress playing this Pollard, Jason. I don't know. I can't fucking remember.
Okay.
Let me have a look, see if I can see it on Shitter. Up the old.
But yeah, in this disinformation war, though, Jay, it's vital that we just don't believe every fucking story that's going around, because do you know what? You just end up chasing your goddamn tail and running around in fucking circles, which kind of suits the agenda, like when it comes to like the information war, to turn your brain into spaghetti and leave you in such a state that you don't know whether you're coming or going, or be able to tell truth from fiction. And I don't know anything about this Bully girl. It's an odd name, I have to say. It's a very odd name. I can't say I've ever heard a surname like Bully before, but I'm not saying that in itself means anything like. But I just thought the name was odd, but could be true, might not be. But the only thing that's for sure is that, like, maybe with time, the cloud might get. The cloud might lift, and we might get some information down the road. Maybe it be a couple of months, maybe a couple of years before we ever get any true facts about it.
Jackie Devoy. Are we right?
Devoy. So you weren't far off the mark, man. Devoy. She looks a bit dodgy. She looks like a Russian agent.
That's Nicola Bully.
Oh, that's Nicola Bully. I thought you said Jackie Devoy.
That's Nicola Bully, but that's the name of the person that's made the allegation. Is Jackie Devoy, but that's supposedly Nicola Bully. And look, I can see. Oh, the fucking problem is it muddies the waters, doesn't it? It's something that you can never fucking prove. It's something that's never going to be admitted by anybody. And it's just to take up your time. That is all it is. It's to take up your time. Take up your time so that you're not looking at anything else. You're not looking at East Palestine, or you're not looking at the Palestine, Palestine in Middle East. You're always looking over there, aren't you? Look, President Zelensky's testicles. Oh yeah! Oh look, everyone's yeah. Fucking cameras are all turned around. And over here, you've got somebody half inching someone's fucking purse out in the back pocket or whatever. Man purse, by the way. I mean, not woman purse.
How are you, Michael Madcock? Welcome. Just lurking. No harm. Yeah, no, you're 100% correct. It's like there's just so many psyops within the major psyop. Like you're always left wondering what the fuck is going on, and that's the goal. That's the goal of this whole operation, is just to keep your brain in a cloud of unknowing, and that's what it seems to me. I was today I took on a new job for a woman who just lives down the road a little bit from me, an Italian
Just a gigolo,
woman.
and everywhere I go, people know the part I'm playing. Just a gigolo, eh? You took a job on for a woman. Are you a new gigolo, then? The gardener. Huh?
Well, she's quite pretty for a middle-aged woman, you know, like Italian women always are, like, you know. They're all, like, Italian women are beautiful. They're throwing the pots and pans at you, you know, because they're quite feisty.
Yeah, go on anyway. You were saying before I interrupted you. Sorry.
No, you're okay, mate. You're okay. But I was surprised and shocked at how well tuned in she was, and she's she works in mental health, you know, and she originally didn't want to take the treatment, right? And she was opposed to it, like, but to do her job, she had to take the bloody job and had to take these meds. She knows it's all bullshit, and she's suffering now from this thing called long coof, and I couldn't bring myself to even. How you doing, Steve? And Steve, by the way, I left a little message for you at the beginning of the podcast. You might want to rewind when you get a bit of chat. There's a little message there personally for you regarding audio stuff. Check it out in for early part of the show. But this lady now, she's actually really nice. She's got a good sense of humor. It was interesting to hear an Italian woman fuck and this, that, and the other, like an old Irish biddy, like fucking and blind, and it was great to hear it, like. But she totally understands that it's all bullshit, and I didn't want to say to her, "What do you think? Is that long coof anything got to do with the jabs and stuff like that?" But I didn't want to bring it up at all. I'm very wary about what I say to people now these days. I've decided to take a different approach. I'm not going to scare the shit out of these people because
there's no point, is there?
No, it wouldn't be fair.
For a start, you could inadvertently cause them to fucking, you know, have a bit of a panic attack, which then causes them to have some other sort of attack. You know, that's you see the attacks that are linked to taking piss out of trans people. So you can't do, you know, you'll get that. But yeah. Oh dear me. What's that? You see, this is the thing. You see, social media has been easing up a little bit. Particularly YouTube has been easing up very slightly. Very slightly. Yeah. I've noticed since that CEO left, didn't she? She resigned. It's been since then. And there's been a different energy. There's been a different sort of energy to it, and it does look like you can say a little bit more than you could before, but again, it's one you don't really want to test. We're on Rumble tonight, by the way. If anybody's watching on Rumble, I can't see whether there's anybody watching on Rumble unless I go on Rumble. We've got 41 watching on YouTube. We've got one on Twitch, and I can't see how many people are watching on Rumble. But we're on Rumble now, and we are live now. So if you're watching on there, we will have places we can go. We've got a place now we can go that people are fairly familiar with, i.e. Rumble. That if things happen on here, then we can, you know, move eventually all over there, or perhaps do half here and then do some more controversial stuff a little bit later on over there. So. Yeah, so everyone get on Steve Tegoose's Rumble, and
I don't know if Steve is on Rumble. Is Steve on Rumble?
He says he's not got enough subscribers. I don't think so. He just needs to get up to subscribers. He said,
"Can you put your link in there? Put your link in there, Steve." And
I'm not going anywhere. I got Rumble, and Odyssey has backups. There you go. So he said he's got Rumble. So.
That's good.
Yeah, put your Rumble up there as well, Steve.
Yeah, I'll gladly click in and try to add to your subscribers. I mean, we're all in
right.
This
so
together.
He says he's not got enough likes. So if you can put your thing in there, we'll get you up to. We got up to 25. He's 25. Isn't
27. I think 27. The last I looked. Yeah. So it took a while though.
And I saw. Let's see if there's anybody fucking watching on there. Let me turn it on. Bollocks.
Yeah, but anyway, Steve, earlier on I was talking about plugins because you brought up last night about plugins and some way to balance the audio levels out with stuff that you're playing on. At the beginning of the show, if you go back and have a quick listen, I may have a solution for you on that matter. Like, but contact Jay, and he'll give you my email address. And so, what's happening here?
We're on Rumble.
We're live. We're live on Rumble.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Rumble. There's a good few channels I follow on Rumble on lives, and it's pretty cool. I like it. It's just as good as YouTube, but maybe not quite as snazzy. Like, but I mean, they got super chat. They can almost do everything that YouTube can do, and they're really up in their game lately. They've improved their interface. It's starting to look really well now. It kind of looked a little bit childlike up until about maybe a month ago, until they uploaded their new version.
Yeah. It's we're on there now anyway. So we're on there. We're on Rumble. If you give Steve Turgoose a Rumble like, if he's not got subscribe,
I'll see if I can find Steve's channel over there, and I'll put the link in myself. And because I didn't realize Steve had a.
How's about this one? How's about this? Let me lay this on you. See if this holds any skin. Rod Stewart has paid for his own scans so that he doesn't put a strain on the NHS. Rod Stewart.
I mean, Steve, just before. Steve, will you verify this link that it's correct first? I don't want to put in the wrong link, but I think that's right. So that's Steve's channel. Give it a sub.
There you go. I'll tell you what. There's nothing better than a goose turd in your ears on a Thursday night. So,
it's brilliant.
It is.
Sorry for interrupting you.
I have to go seeking it out, and fucking last night I just completely forgot. I know, looking for something to watch. I was scratching around for something to watch. Yeah, so get in there Thursday night. Get some goose in your ears.
Sorry for interrupting you. You were talking about Stewart. Was it Rod Stewart or
Rod Stewart? Yeah, he's paid. He's paid for his scans. He's had a couple of scans. He needed some scans. I mean, Rod Stewart must be fucking 106 now, shouldn't he? Jesus Christ. Yeah. Still with same fucking drain pipe, fucking tartan trousers on, pretending to a plastic fucking jock of all things. You know, you get loads of plastic paddies, but you never really get plastic jocks, do you? You know, you don't get people that claim to be Scottish.
I think there's a whole range. I think there's a whole range of tranny underwear that's plastic, got plastic jocks. Sorry, that's my sick humor coming out again.
Chris said, surely Rid Stewart. There you go, a little bit of a Freudian slip there, Chris. Has paid millions in taxes, though. Virtual signalling, raconteurs. No, I don't. You see, has he paid millions in taxes? You know how the cunts are fucking never pay fucking tax, don't they? Never pay the full tax. But yeah, he's probably paid enough for a scam. But I don't think. You know, I don't think he's adverse to paying for his own. I don't think can you really see a Rod Stewart sitting in a fucking NHS hospital waiting for his fucking a scan one day? He's sat in waiting room, everyone's sneezing around him. You know, he's sat there incognito trying to hide that spiky blonde hair that he's got, and he's got his tartan trousers on and a big tartan scarf and some platform shoes. Can you see it really? Nah, he'll be in and out of fucking Dr. Dave's office in no time. Right, well, it's fucking ridiculous. He loves Ukraine, the twat, apparently. So there you go. Read Rumble being owned by Cantor Fitzgerald. I don't know who Cantor Fitzgerald. I know I've heard of Cantor Fitzgerald. I don't know what Rumble being owned by them means, but I'm just going to use what I can. You've got to use what you. We're on fucking we're on YouTube, for fuck's sake. We were 100%. On Facebook until last week. We know who they're owned by. I get what you're saying, but all I'm saying is that we beggars can't be choosers. We can't afford a platform like this. We can't afford to have a platform, make a platform that's like this. Anywhere near. So we've got to use what's available to us, and using their tools. I'm not against them because I don't really know what Cantor Fitzgerald did. I have heard a fucking name though, but that might be because there used to be a Cantors. Cantors used to be a fucking advert on telly over here. Turn your house into a home. Cantors. Turn your house into a... Anyway, I don't think it's them. But yeah, all we're doing is using these tools. That's all that are provided. We're not endorsing them. We're not enriching them because no cunt's watching. So we're not. It's not as if we're making them a fortune. We're not Mr. Beast, are we? Exactly. So yeah, we've got Odyssey as well, but I can't live stream on Odyssey yet. I can't fucking remember why. But there is a reason.
I think you need 50 something or others of their token, isn't it? Yeah, I think you need about 50 of their token to. I can't remember what token that they use. They use TON, TON, that cryptocurrency. I think you need 50 of those to actually live stream. I managed to gather up about 37.8 of them, because I remember when I first joined Odyssey, they used to give you X amount of ton for watching videos and following streamers and stuff like that, but that seems to have stopped, so I'm kind of stuck at 37, and I'm not buying crypto at the moment. To be honest, it kind of looks like I'm not going to go there, but I just say I don't trust crypto at the moment, and I'm not going to be going out buying crypto for a while.
Buying crypto anyway, for God's sake. Fucking hellfire. Might as well Jesus. Here's a fucking picture of a fucking sad monkey. It's fucking worth $7,000. Yeah, of course it is. Tomorrow it'll be worth 4.2 of a p.
I had one Bitcoin. I had 1.3 Bitcoin at one stage there a couple of years ago, until the company decided to fuck everybody up and on the trading platform we were on, and they robbed everything. Bastards. And I swear to God, I will never trust another cryptocurrency again. Never. I don't give a fuck who the fuck they are. They can go and kiss my motherfucking scrotum.
Yeah. You see, the problem with most is not having any regulation is that it can be abused massively.
Yeah. So 100%. Yeah.
9/11, Jace. Yeah. Look, I don't know about Cantor Fitzgerald. I'm not going to be enriching them. Whatever I do, am I? I'm going to, if I bring over my 40 viewers to Rumble, I'm not going to be making them any better. I'm not going to make them any more powerful. I'm not going to be justifying anything that they do. I'm not going to be defending anything they do. All I'm doing is I'm using the platform because beggars can't be choosers. Believe me, if there were a place I could go to and pay 20 quid a month and stream on it, and you all knew it were easy for you lot to everyone to access, and go on it and pay 20 quid a month and say what the fuck I want, I would pay it. Right? I would. Just simply for that. But until that happens, then unfortunately we're stuck with this. What people are used to accessing. And you know how hard it is to move people. I remember when years and years and years and years back, when I actually were moderating on the original Loose Change forum. So it were 2004, something like that. 2004. And it got massive, absolutely massive, to the point where we had that many I think they were over, and this is before social media. So we're talking about a forum, but this forum had 200,000 members, all mostly posting information on there. And what happened every so often, and this is how I knew that were all a fucking load of bollocks, is they fucking moved it when there were no need to move it. There were no need to move it at all, and then you lose 3/4 of the people that go. You know, you lose 3/4, if not more, of the people. And then the new forum started, and then it began, and it went again, another one, and this is how they do it. This is how they get these idea places. How they get them to fold, because they just keep changing them. They just keep changing them and changing them and changing them. And it was them that changed it. It was Jason, Corey, and Dylan that changed it. And at the time, I had a bit of an argument with I think it was Corey on phone one night, and I couldn't work out why they were doing it. And in the end, I worked it out, but it did take quite a long fucking time. But then again, this is what I mean about how things are mad, fucking mental. And think about it, there are more people now that are aware of this stuff, right? So what do you do? What do you do if there are more people who have become aware in the last couple of years due to the circumstances, due to them losing the jobs, due to lockdowns, due to the economy diving through floor? There are people now that are coming into this information, that are coming in and seeing this information, and they are now seeing that things aren't quite as they seem. So what do you do if you've got all those people there in that area who are brand new to all this information? What you do is you put the most extreme stuff straight out there everywhere, and then people just fall down fucking rabbit holes, decide it's not worth it because it's such a ridiculous thing that they've fallen for, and then they go back to the original way of thinking. I just hope for the sake of the globalists that they've not really let this genie loose and can't really get it back in. But you've got to carry on. You've got to carry on doing it, and this is why I do it like this, because I don't want to do it to a point where it's fucking too and the fucking chat room. I can't read. I can't interact with my chatters. I can't interact with people that are listening because it's just going too fast. I've seen these ones where it's just going fast chats, and I don't want that. So we're just using whoever owns these things. We're just using them. So and we're using them for free, and we're living in the red for free as well because they're storing our information. But yeah, so whoever it is that owns it, then thank you for allowing us to use it for a while.
Yeah,
Jim.
I mean, we're improving a little bit. Like we've managed to claw back our way from 2 strikes, and we're on our way to getting the other strike sort of like removed. And I think we're still talking about the same shit, only though we're kind of learning to work our way around how to talk about it without talking about it. That sort of a way, so it's a learning buzz for us all, I think. Like, I don't want us to leave. I think it's great that we now have Rumble, and we might find a way to integrate it into the workflow and maybe find a use for it. But I don't, like I said, that when you were off sick, to the guys that says, we're not going anywhere. Like, we're not leaving YouTube. I know people might be worried and don't maybe want to make the move over to Rumble. We're not going fucking anywhere if we can help it. And that's the truth of it. And we're going to get our other strike fucking removed as ASAP, as soon as the algorithms will allow. And we're back in business again. And we will be improving, I think, over in time, and not try to stay out of their little traps by staying aware of what's going on in the YouTube terms of service. But I think there's a change coming, Jay. I really feel that there's some sort of a change happening. There seems to be a loosening of the information on YouTube. I'm starting to see talk of the talk of jabs and excess death and so. I'm watching certain broadcasters, and I'm noticing how their rhetoric is changing. I'm paying very, very close attention to how they're changing, and they're talking about stuff that like 6 months ago was totally taboo, right? You couldn't even mention it. So I'm paying close attention to a lot of the, like your John Campbell's. I still think he's there's something not quite right with that fella. But at the end of the day, I'm paying close attention to him and trying to learn. I'm watching him as he dances around the algorithm, and I'm actually learning from him. So, like it's all good. Like we'll be here on YouTube, guaranteed.
Oh yeah,
This is the place to be.
I'm just trying to find YouTube. See if I've fucking downloaded. I can see. I want to look on my YouTube account, but of course I can't because it's logged me out on here when I did this update. I've got my iPad with me, which I've only just got, which I'm logged in on YouTube, but I've just tried to get YouTube Studio for it so that I can go in and have a look. But I think that probably by now the other strike will have gone. I'm pretty certain that we're strikeless. So
wow.
Yeah. So
cool.
it can be done, and being careful. You see, we're biding his time. We're waiting. We do like to talk. We do like to talk and talk about good, interesting conversations and stuff. Sometimes it's controversial, but sometimes it's difficult because of restrictions that we've had. But if you can manage it, that's what we've been doing over the last few months. In it is managing it really. 3 months,
trying to learn
90 days.
Trying to learn the boundaries and how to dance around it without making a cunt of the channel. That's been my biggest worry since I come on here, and I tell you what, it's been a bit of a burden. I have to say it's been a burden because not knowing what exactly you can say and what you can't say that's been a nightmare, Jay. And every day, every time I come on here, it's like, don't fuck up. It's like...
You see, it's the times when you don't think you fucked up that you fuck up. It's like you showed that video, that graphic video, weren't it?
Yeah.
And you didn't realise. Looking back now, it seems obvious, doesn't it? You're on YouTube and it's quite graphic. So I had to turn away from it. I couldn't look at it, and I've only got one fucking leg. You know what I mean? I've laid there while they've sawn my leg off, and I couldn't fucking watch it because some cunt were trying to fucking walk on his fucking stump or whatever.
I know. I mean, there was a video this morning on the Gateway Pundit of some poor old deer who got attacked by a 10-foot long crocodile, dragged her into the water and killed her, and it's just like, no, I don't want to see it, man. Give me a break. No. This was at about 8 o'clock this morning. It says, no, I need a drink before I watch that shit.
Fucking crocodiles, man. Crocodiles.
Well, I think it was a crocodile.
Little things. Oh no, just one actually. What I tell you what do you make of Jim Carrey? Because he's
nuts,
this Epstein stuff, and he's the only one so far to raise his head above the parapet and say, "Hang on a minute,
guilty,
it's not
guilty,
true." What do you make of that?
Guilty. That's a guilty brain working there, man.
You think so?
Absolutely. Like anybody else with the right brain of mind would just say, dude, pull a Joe Biden, conspiracy theorists again. That's what the fucking sensible person would do. Oh, listen to all the conspiracy theorists. But no, he's making a big deal about it, so that tells me guilty as fuck. And did you see the state of him? What drugs is he on?
I've not actually seen. I've just read. In fact, I got the headline. When earlier on, when you were on one of the websites and going, and one of the stories underneath was a link to that. So that's why that's the only reason I wrote it down, because I did hear about it. I did hear that he was threatening to sue somebody, but I've not actually seen any statements. I've not seen him say anything. So I've not seen any of the things that he's said or he's done. I've only really heard that, seen the headline, which is much what everyone else will be doing. But yeah.
Okay. Well, perhaps I can give you a little visual of what he actually looks like right now. That's him there. What the fuck has happened to him? I'm just thinking that they just cut off a supply. Have they cut off a supply of adrenochrome? It's like, I don't know. Holy shit! Oh man, he's not looking well at all, man. I don't know what's going on.
So who's he threatening to sue?
He's threatened to sue a YouTube channel which had. Hold on, let's see. I've kind of forgotten the story a little bit. Let me see if I can.
It was the list.
A popular YouTuber claims the rubber-faced comic went to sex pervs Jeffrey Epstein's private island. RadarOnline.com can exclusively reveal that. The funny man-powered Los Angeles lawyers fired off a no-nonsense cease and desist letter on Tuesday, giving YouTuber Vincent Briatore 48 hours to take down the video, which already had 2.8 million views, or else. So,
sorry, what's the name of the YouTuber?
He's Vincent Briatore. Hold on, I know
him. Yeah, I've watched him. He's brilliant.
Right? Yeah.
He's brilliant, Ian. Really, but he's a consummate professional. Right. And I listen, and they have interesting discussions. I'm sure it's him.
So basically, he didn't say very much, right? The YouTuber himself didn't say a whole lot. All he was pointing out was that, like, Carey had appeared on the flight logs as being on the Lolita Express and on Epstein's Island, basically. So that's all he's done. And he's just asking questions. He's not making any accusations. And as far as I know, he didn't take the video down yet or anything like that. And so I'm not quite sure. But I'm pretty sure we'll... Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. They get into... He's a bit Joe Roganish. I think this is it. Is this it? Let me see if this is it. Blah, blah. Fucking hell. Maybe. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading stuff. I'm just trying to find out. What did you say this kid were called?
What was it? Vincent Briatore. Briatore. Vincent Briatore.
I don't want to comment on it if it's not him. See, just want to make sure it's him.
Well, do you know what? I can copy the link here. I can actually send you the link because it's linked here. I'll send it to you in the chat there. Have you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's not him. It's not the one, but I have seen one. I've seen one.
Right.
There's a YouTube stream that sometimes pops up when I'm like late at night and there's cookie's not on to wind up or there's I've got note to do. I look through a few of these and I've watched a few Joe Rogan clips and stuff like that. And there's this one called Valuetainment, and they are really fucking entertaining. Apart from this, they've got a North Korean bird on there. And you can't really understand. I don't know why they've got her on, but they've got a North Korean bird on there who likes Trump. It's that sort of thing, but it is quite entertaining, and that's the reason why I watch it is entertainment. And I'm sure I heard it on there. I'm sure he said something about that. In fact, he might have been mentioning the fact that Jim Carrey were going to sue. Have a look at that anyway. Valuetainment.
I think I followed them on. They're on the Tube, isn't it?
Yeah, they're on YouTube.
Yeah. I stuck that Vincent Briatore into the chat there. That's that link that I just put in there. That's the video in question, cool. I believe. And
playing? No, I'm not playing it because if he's suing, I don't want to repeat it.
No.
If it gets fucking banned, then I'm going to get fucking banned, aren't I?
No, we don't want to go there. But we'll talk about it like in a balanced sort of way. We can talk about it in a balanced sort of way without making any accusations against the drug-looking lunatic who appears to be allegedly Jim Carrey. I don't know. I'm not an expert in recognizing faces. It could be him. It might not be him. But he looks a bit weird, man. I don't know what's happened to him. He looks like his face is all sunken in and doesn't look like old age. I would say that's drug abuse.
Yeah. Well, probably. But I wouldn't have said he's adverse to that. He's obviously a difficult character to be around. I mean, his last. Oh, fuck off.
I tell you what, it must be frustrating, like just doing an update to wipe out all your settings like that.
It's just fucking completely fucked everything up. So I can't even fucking put that. Let me see if I can fucking can't even put that link in, I don't think. Let's see if it works.
That's why I'm not on a Windows system. I use Linux, and I never have problems like that.
It won't let me on YouTube at all. It won't let me on YouTube at all without being signed in. And I've just tried to sign in, right? And it said, we're going to back up on your other device. And it's done it on my fucking tablet that's downstairs. This iPad that I've got a tablet and an iPad now. It's fucking madness. I need to fucking get it slimmed down. I've only got an iPad because I last got a new one. But there's a fucking, it's done it downstairs. I'm upstairs. You know what I mean? So I can't get on YouTube. There's no way I can do it.
But that's in my opinion, that's a serious infringement on personal sovereignty on digital devices. Like, because, fine, if you need to update your operating system, update the operating system, but fuck off and leave my files and settings alone. You have no business going near my files and settings. And that's why I don't use Windows, because I've noticed these problems. Do you know what? I'm so glad I'm not on a Windows machine anymore. And it's been 22 years since I've worked on a Windows machine once or twice in between. But to be honest, when I go on a Windows machine, it's just like, what am I doing? This is a child's toy. Why am I on it? Like, I don't want to be honest.
I'm a child, though. I'm a child. Essentially, I'm a child. I have to use it because it's the easiest stuff to use. I know it's fucking bollocks, but I've just got to use it. So I'm fucking stuck with it. But yeah, wiping all my settings, that's not fucking good, is it? It's just like,
it's not good, man.
Pissed me right off as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, fine, do your updates, but just leave my stuff alone, man. Leave my stuff alone. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're back done, aren't we? We did it. We've done an extra 20 minutes, haven't we? 23 minutes, 2 and 3, 23. Yeah. We did 23 more minutes.
We have a terrible habit of going over. Terrible habit of going over.
I know, but I were on late, weren't I? Because of stupid fucking Windows and it's stupid fucking shit. So
yeah, I was waiting as long as I could and hoping that we could get as much out of the time that we have together as possible. But obviously, the operating system wasn't playing ball with us. So, but anyway, look, hopefully we'll do the updates earlier in the future.
yeah. I just want, here's my notes for tonight that I did earlier on. That's how many notes I did, and we've covered most of them. But let me just read you this one. This is how it's written. You can see this is how it's written. Fucking hell. Anyway, it says, Roald Dahl. Original books to be kept in print following criticism from, among others, Rishi Sunak and Queen, what's her name? The original are published by Puffin.
Oh yeah.
And do you know why I put by Queen, what's her name? Because at the time I was watching Minder, And Alpha Daly's always saying, "What's the name?" or "What's his name?" "What's the call?" Or "What's my flip?" or whatever. So I put Queen. What's her name? And there you go. There's a little insight into what I do when I'm preparing for these shows in the evening. So anyway, I think we're just about done. Do you want to add out? Do you want to talk about all else? I'm pretty fucking.
One more thing. Right. A topic came up in the chat last week. Last week, a topic came up in the after chat, and somebody was complaining. I can't remember who it was, so I won't mention your name, Tony. But why don't I do a horticultural section, right? And I was a bit adverse to a horticultural section in the Raconteurs news section. But what I'm open to is this. Like, if people are interested, I don't mind doing a horticultural section. And I was thinking about doing a horticultural show on Wednesday evenings at around 8 o'clock. So if that would suit everybody, how does everybody feel about 8 o'clock on Wednesday evenings? Around 8 o'clock. So
hang on. Well,
that would suit everybody. How does everybody feel about 8 o'clock on Wednesday
evenings? You've turned up on one of my things. I don't know how.
But anyway. Yeah, we can hear it in the background there. But yeah, I put a lot of thought into it this week, like, because I know there's quite a few keen gardeners and horticulturalists in the bores to death, Jimmy. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't mind boring you to death. That wouldn't be hard done, Diddy. But yeah, like, I've even kind of worked out my first topic for the first horticultural show, which will be tips and tricks on how to maintain your bush. No.
Well, that sounds interesting. I don't know if I'll be tuning in, but
I think, yeah. Actually, I'm only joking about the Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock. That's only a joke, because
it's a joke. That's okay. So before you start,
that's prime time. I was thinking I might edge my way into that niche marketing and grab some of that pie, but no. Maybe Sunday evenings, but I'm not going to start this Sunday evening, right? Because obviously, like, people may not. Obviously, you don't know. There was a sudden death in our family. My uncle died suddenly, rapid cancer. Like, young, healthy man, quite 60, 64, see, rapid cancer. Like, and I'm not going to say much more about that. Like, but you can obviously understand where my thoughts are with that. But I'm thinking about Sunday evening, and if people want to have a think about it and maybe suggest a time or something like that, I'm not saying that this is a democracy, but I'm open for suggestion. And so, look, be on the lookout for possibly a horticultural segment coming soon. So, just like, I
mean, that'd be awesome, because like somebody said, there's no one on a Sunday. Kendo says Sundays are so boring, so all good. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody on a Sunday. So. Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
that sounds like Jimmy Titchmarsh will be doing all right. Then you'll be riddling your spuds or whatever you do.
Just talking about horticulture, there's just so much you can talk about, and you can get, there's loads of avenues you can go down, like with interaction with everybody. So I'm sure, like, there may be a show there, like, and I'm not going to make it it'll be an hour segment. I'm not going to go 2 hours, because I already do 4 hours during the week. So a 1 hour segment and stuff like that, and just keep it simple and nothing too complicated.
Excellent. Yeah, brilliant idea. And you might be able to explain to me, what is a mongoloid wurzel?
I'll Google it.
No idea. I have no
That's
idea.
What I do.
I've heard people with problems with.
Yeah,
I've got problems with me mongoloid wurzels.
But I think, like, because it's February, I was thinking that, like, it'd be a good time to have a good discussion about how to maintain your bush, right? Bush is very important, It's like, so that's going to be the first topic. So that could be 2 weeks. I'm not going to do it this weekend, but this Sunday week, and I might give it a kick off, see how it goes. And I'm not going to commit for a long term. I'm just going to see how it goes and how it fits in with my schedule.
Yeah, it don't matter whether it's one off or whether it's once a fucking month or whether it's just once whenever you feel like it. Don't make any difference. Yeah. So I'm sure people will tune in just to be able to peer under your bush and take in the things from your lips. Your face lips around your face bush. Yeah. That's right, on a Sunday night. So yeah, that'd be good. I'm also thinking one week. I don't know when, but I'm probably thinking about summertime or something like that. But doing like one show a night every night, just Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, not Saturday and Sunday. Obviously, weekends off, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just 1 week, but just as a one-off type thing, and put some stuff together, get some ideas. I am getting better. I am starting to write stuff down. I'm also starting to remember to bring the computer downstairs and do things. For me, it's because I've been doing note for so fucking long that it's difficult to, when you want to start doing something, the note that you were doing is getting in the way. You fucking know you're getting in the way of the note, right?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So I'm looking to get a little bit more motivated and get a few more miles out of this thing that you call this fucking big round head on my shoulders. So that's it then for tonight. Oh, else, Jim, or are we done?
I think we're done, Jay, and we can, and good to see you, mate. And thanks everyone in the chat. It was interesting as always, I'm sure.
Always brilliant.
And there wasn't too much doom tonight, was there?
No, and Dinny was in there as well, weren't he? So not too much doom. And Dinny were in there as well. Are we putting a invite in? Well, they can come and fucking talk to us.
Yeah, why not? I always look forward to that cunt Dinny keeping me up all fucking night till all hours of the morning. He won't even let you go, like you said. I'm going, no. Wait a minute. I want to tell you about this old dear that used to live down the road from me in County Letterkenny back 30 years ago. It's like,
and you know what? She was the nicest person you ever met in your life. Ever met in your life. But she was a cunt. It's fucking been everywhere, done everything. If you've ever worked on a fucking underground cables that put internet around the world down on bottom at sea, fucking Dinny, he were fucking repairing them when you were still in fucking your fucking baby's wetsuit. So
I'm pretty sure he was one of the team that was down to destroy the Nord Stream 2 pipelines.
I think I'm pretty sure he's fucking CIA, the cunt. And he's pretending to be an Irishman in fucking Germany, in woods, scratching his back on fucking trees and dancing around saying "booby doo, I want to be like you." Anyway, after chat's going to be open anyway. If you want to come in and have a chat or even just have a listen, but if you do come in and have a listen, I am going to tell everybody who's in the chat who can't see that you're there, so that we. That people don't say things. We don't want any fucking
full disclosure
and crap like that. Yeah. So anyway, cheers, Jimmy. We'll see you all on Tuesday. Thanks to everyone who's been in the chat room and to all the people who haven't been in the chat room, just been listening along. I hope we've been able to oil you along a little bit on this Friday night. And all the people who are going to listen afterwards. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Take care. Bye bye. I'm gone. Sorry. Ooh.
I have the toes I have. Let's just leave it at that.